Catching a fish can be a relaxing pastime, but to me, it's incredibly uninteresting. 99% of the time, you just sat down waiting for the fish to take the bait. I've been sat here for hours now, and I haven't caught anything. Does that sound like a great time to you? Sitting around here bored doing absolutely nothing? This is why I prefer to play fishing games.
Now, there's tons of fishing simulation games to play, and nearly all of them play identical. You grab the rod, attach some bait to the hook, cast the line, and wait till the fish bites, and then usually there's a minigame to reel it in. Even in popular games that are non-fishing titles, such as Red Dead Redemption 2, you can do some fishing. Additionally, there's a few games that stand out to me, such as Real Fishing with the pre-rendered backgrounds, Big Ol' Bass 2, where you can catch a freaking T-Rex, and Monster Bass, or Killer Bass as it's known in Japan.
It's a typical fishing game, but with crazy horror elements added to the mix. Yeah, killer fish. Now that is interesting. I have to play this game and see if this is as ludicrous as it sounds. Now I've managed to hack the old PSP so it can run the game. That way I can sit and chill in the sun while a fish hopefully takes the bait. Monster Bass. Is it any good? Well, it's time to find out and catch some killer fish.
On the main menu screen, there is a story, practice and training mode. Training is what you would expect. It explains the mechanics so you can get a feel for the controls, which is easy to understand. Here, all you have to do is match the buttons on screen to complete the exercises. In the practice mode, you can choose to play 4 stages from the story, but without a time limit, and that's pretty much it. It looks like this is going to be a short, easy game. So moving on to the story, it appears that someone's caught some bass and done some science on them. The fish now mutated break out of their containment, then all of a sudden there is a killer bass fishing tournament where you get to play as this guy wearing a red coat. If you think that this sounds like nonsense, that's because it is, and that's just from the intro. So now the game starts and you're tasked to complete 1 goal in each round. In the first round, you have to catch 3 fish. Before we crack on with that, I have to say that these graphics is horrendous. This entire stage is just ugly to look at. The graphics is so bad, you can't even make out the word magical on the coat. They didn't even try. Anyway, let's make a move and grab some bait. Ah, great, another problem. Every time you want to choose bait, there's a loading screen. Oh, how long does this have to load for?
You've got to be kidding me!
One expensive new rod later, and the menu is finally loaded. As you can see, there is various interesting bait to choose from, such as a spider, lobster, toad, and a mouse to name a few. Each of the bait has different lure actions. For example, in the training mode, we can see the mouse sinks slowly and the lobster sinks quickly. Either way, you're best off selecting one and leaving it at that, because why would you want to sit through the exhausting loading times? Okay, we're ready to fish. Here we go, cast the line. My God, what the hell is going on with this frame rate? Man, this is unacceptable. It's nearly as bad as Bubsy 3D, and that's awful. So terrible graphics, check. Horrible frame rate, check. What's next? Oh no, not the camera too. Look at this, what is going on? You can't make out anything, and the worst thing about it, you have zero control over it, and the fish is fucking psycho, man.
You know what? I've only ever caught 1 fish, me. I brought it home, and it didn't stop fucking singing.
Here is a song I wrote, might want to sing it note for note. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy.
Okay, back to the game, and that's strange, the line hasn't snapped. The fish is still going apeshit. So now the question is, how do you actually reel in the fish then? In the training mode it's said to match the buttons on screen, but here there is no such thing, no button prompts whatsoever. It's literally one big guessing game that makes your eyes ache. I know there's only so much you can do with a fishing simulation game, so the core gameplay has to be fun, but how can they fuck this up this bad? It's a near unplayable nightmare, and that's only the first catch of the day. It didn't take too long, but god it was atrocious. So let's talk about the progression. As you play on through the story, the goal in each stage slightly varies. Instead of catching a set number of fish, sometimes you'll need to catch a combined weight of fish, or one fish that meets the required weight. Yeah, it's a bit complicated to understand, but it's really not. When you've completed all 4 stages, they cycle again, but this time you fish during the night, and there's a lot more bass to catch. So I soldiered on through the lonely night and made it to the final stage, which takes place here, in some lost ruins or something. I don't know why people would want to gather in the vast nothingness of the ocean to watch one bloke stand on a boat, but there you go. The people from the town are all nuts. They're willing to sit there for one catch, the last catch of the story. This time the killer bass has a name. It's called Jack, and it's huge, like real huge, and you get 1 hour to catch the monster. You may be thinking, why 1 hour? Well, you see, that's because everything but the bastard wants to take the bleeding bait. After repeatedly questioning my sanity, I eventually got the bite, and I'm not letting this fucker go. I've played for half an hour for this moment. Jack is mine. It's time to reel the big guy in. Whoa, that bass is so big, it goes off camera. With the story mode finished, what is there to do now? Well, there is a practice mode where you can play as long as you like, but why would you want to go through more pain with the camera and mechanics? It's not worth it. Besides that, I don't think there's anything else to cover. So, in summary, the game's horror twist tricked me into playing it, and I thought it was going to be a good experience, but it's not. The graphics is bollocks, the camera is bollocks, the reeling minigame, that's bollocks, the frame rate is absolute bollocks, nearly everything about this game is bollocks. And now that I've completed it, I wouldn't recommend anyone to play it. Please go play another fishing game, just not this one. Just don't do it. It's not worth your money or your time, honestly.
And it's quite funny actually, because in the end we caught Jack. Like here, literally sat here, we caught Jack shit. Oh wait. Bloody hell.